Photography has always been something where you are trying to capture a single individual moment. Photography was, for one thing, indispensable in planning the missions to the moon. We had to make sure that we knew what the surface was like. We had to make sure that we knew where you could land. They made sure that when they landed, they were not in a place that might have recently been in shadow, so it would be too cold, or in daylight for too long, so it would be too hot.
Tranquility Base here. The Eagle has landed.
Ranger 9 was a mission to launch something at the moon and see if they could actually, strike the surface, see if they could navigate that accurately. And it took these images as it was heading in, and you can see it's getting closer and closer and closer and closer and closer. That's the last image that it returned before it smashed into the surface. This exhibit is called A Century of Lunar Photography and Beyond, because these are actually more than a century old. These images were taken by a specialized telescope at the Paris Observatory. And these are standard surveys where they would take this image, take another one a few months or a few years later to see if anything had changed. I just love the texture of these. They're really, really beautiful prints. Some of the images that we have in the gallery are not just images of the moon, but images comparing the Earth and the moon. And it is interesting that we have this really strong desire to look back and record images of our own world. So one of the things which happened when we went to the moon, the astronauts said, is that they basically discovered the Earth by stepping outside of the Earth and seeing it from far enough away that you could block it out with less than the palm of your hand. That allowed them to see the Earth as a small, fragile, unique object surrounded by basically infinite, deadly nothingness. This is very close to what they saw looking through their visor. And the idea that we can explore a place where no human being had ever been, and we can bring back images that make you feel as if you're there, that's sort of a revolutionary idea, I think.